The following is a presentation of Playfly Sports Properties.
You know, Will's he's the type of guy that behind the scenes type of guy, but his actions and what he do for everybody else, you can tell he's doing it from the heart.
Great man on the field and off the field. So this year our team wants to pay a man of the year nominee, William Gholston.
Sometimes, guys play the game, and then, just going about their lives. But the platform that we've been given, Will has taken advantage of that.
First, he's a very goofy guy, very down to earth, very real. Overall, he's an intentional man. He just likes to be the best he can be every day.
He likes to give back to the less fortunate. So he always tries to lend a helping hand, whether it's giving out turkeys or, helping out during different type of holidays. He doesn't only, help out in Tampa. He goes back home to where he grew up in Detroit. He lends a helping hand out there as well.
He wanted to directly impact the African-American community, so he donated $225,000 to the African-Americans in the Moffitt Cancer Center to help further research.
That's what his legacy want to be stamped as, just a guy who...
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of This is Sparta. Today is Tuesday. What's it, man? December 11th? Is that where we at?
Yep, December 13th.
Oh, my goodness, man. I don't know where the time's going.
Man, you've been traveling. You've been traveling, man.
We back in the mitten, though, right now. So everybody's all good. I'm your host, Jason Strayhorn, along with my co-host, Otis Wiley. And Jehuu Caulcrick. And we are here to bring you guys news you want to hear, all the inside info, and then some guests that we just are so excited to have on right now. And we're not going to even waste time on this one. We're just going to, without further ado, we're going to bring on the Super Bowl champion, a hell of a Spartan, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and NFL Man of the Year nominee, William Too Tall Gholston.
Too Tall Gholston.
Yes, sir.
Brought it out.
Yeah. What's
going on?
Spartan Dawgs in the house.
What's going on? Thank you for letting me be on the show. Appreciate that. Can y'all hear me? I don't know.
Yeah. We got you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for letting me be on the show.
Say this too, for sure. Man, thank you you just made a long trip from about 2,500 miles, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
From San Francisco all the way back to Tampa. Had to get in early in the morning and practice and go to work. That's what you call it. In the league, it's work, it's not practice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not practice no more. It's costly. Yeah. It'd be a nice little 5.5-hour flight.
Mm.
Man, so the league doesn't care about jet lag and plane legs, right? It's back to the grind.
So we got a sports science team. They give you all the right things. You take all the right things. You sleep the way you need to sleep. You be straight. And if not, you better put some water on
it. So did you guys go? Played obviously on Sunday. Did you guys go out there Friday or did you go Saturday?
We got there Friday night. Basically, it'd been like a.m. in the morning this time. Had a chance to get acclimated on Saturday, and then played on Sunday.
Right. See, that's the reason I asked that is we're going to jump into things, but I talked about it when Michigan State went to play Washington and went the day before the game, and I said, that's tough. That's tough for a play. You have to go there, get acclimated a little bit, to your surroundings, get your legs and everything. So that's the reason I asked that. With Coach Tucker being a big NFL guy, I was really surprised with that. That it didn't go on a Thursday for a Saturday game.
I think that I guess you determine and you depend on how hard your week of practice is. If you have a hard week that's front loaded, it's light on the back end, then I guess you could take more time before you go out. But we basically had walkthroughs all week because we played on Monday night. Went from Monday night, practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fly out, practice, then fly out, come back, walk through, then the game. So it ain't wheels never stop spinning. So
right.
Man,
definitely not.
Man, Will, it's been crazy, man, that last time he was in the green and white, man. It's it's been 10 years in the league. Is that correct?
10, yeah.
Man. We flash back and bring Spartan Nation back to those years in the green and white, man. It's let's say it was pure dominance, where you guys kind of, man, look, that's that dog. You think about it was a committee of, this is where the defense was just electric and ranked top 5 in every category. And, we all played for the great Mark D'Antonio, and, just take us back, flashbacks, man, where, you coming from Detroit and then you get to the green and white and you kind of put your blessing, or I say your DNA on that defense, man. Just walk us through and bring us back to those flashbacks.
When it came down to it, the fellas are like our freshman class. We had a powwow just with the older guys as well, and we said we got to be those guys. And I want to say around my sophomore year, everything just took off. Like from camp to spring game, every single thing fell into place, and we just all wanted to be dogs. And we stood by that, like the accountability that we have for each other. Like anybody can, like if you get called out, you step up to that challenge. It wasn't no like shying or being afraid of anything. Like anything that was asked of us, we felt like we can do, no matter what it was.
Yeah, you strike a great point there, and that's something that I feel might be missing now. And it's a question for you, because when you were there playing, there wasn't like the transfer portal like it is. And you mentioned, your freshman year, you were staying in the dorms together, had those classes together, and having that talk, that that powwow, saying, hey, we're going to be the ones to turn it around. And then your redshirt freshman year, your sophomore year, that's when it started coming. Do you think that that closeness that you guys had from coming in together really put you guys together, like, more, and it's tougher now with the transfer portal, right?
I think that's a huge element to the game of football in general. Like you think about when you had the most fun and when you are the most dominant, that's when you playing for some more than yourself, and it's your brothers, it's the guys that you bleeding with, that you sweating with, that you putting those hours in with. And like I say, like it's different from hearing somebody say, hey man, pick it up, and you don't look at him like he's your brother. If you look at the dude next to you, my brother say, hey man, you got to pick it up, you got to step up, you better than this. It lights a fire under you and make you go out there and do the very best that you can. So I think it's a part of the camaraderie that you get to be able to come in with a guy and really grow and build and learn with each other.
Now, Stray's been at the top of the booth, and we all know who we played for in that D coordinator and Pat Narduzzi.
Yes, sir.
So, Stray seen Pat Narduzzi fly down them stairs, man, from the booth. Like, forget the elevator.
Yeah.
If he could jump and soar down there, he would. But I think the attitude that Narduzzi, it was me and Jehuu where we were we call it the test tube team, or the babies, test tube babies, right? Like Coach D came and he had to flip the whole foundation and build it from Jehu's class, my class, in those 2 years. And, in Narduzzi and his personality, it almost seeped through the whole defense. Cause like, I still remember Kamikaze or Chaos, right? Where you all lined up going crazy. Yep. But like, talk about Narduzzi and, his personality, his DNA on the defense.
He was one of the guys who helped me accept being as violent as I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't care. He didn't care if it was messy. He didn't care if it was bloody. Like he wanted you to play violent, play like a dog, be rabid. I remember him breaking projectors at halftime.
and you're sitting in the front, like glass shattered to you.
What's going on? So I think he came in that back, like we had to match his tempo because he was energetic all the time. Like he was up there all the time, and he that's what you wanted to play like. He showed you what he wanted. You go out there and you do it. You get production. You get the results you want. So it was nothing there. Like when you young, you doing all that wild, crazy stuff, and you trying to run through a brick wall, you either gonna make a hole or you gonna fall out. And luckily, we paved through and made a hole.
Oh, that's a good point.
It is a good point. Yeah, Narduzzi, that was epic, man. Watching him run down. And when Will played, I was actually on the sideline.
You was. I forgot.
Yeah, we were down there. You know, that was my time putting in on the sideline, and I would hang out. We would chop it up during the game, and Will always had time for the little kids, and always like gave high fives to the kids when you go out there and murder a quarterback. But I remember there was a game that everybody talks about, which is that Wisconsin game, the Hail Mary pass, you know, from Kirk Cousins, and that ended up winning the game. You weren't in that game, right? But you actually ran from your house because you had to sit out because of some stuff that went on with Michigan. We ain't gonna mention all that, but you ran all the way to the stadium to celebrate with the team. I can recall.
I ran from Spartan Village. For those who know where Spartan Village, I took off. It was like a little delay. You know, I'm in the living room. I hear ha, like the scream, the roar from the fans. I open the door, they still scream. I said, "Oh, I gotta get there." I took off, ran, hit that right, and I'm just standing there with like the recruits and the family. They're like, "Will?" Yeah, game over, but I can come in there now, right? I can come celebrate with everybody, right? You know, that was fun. That's being young and just full of that gusto, man. I wouldn't do it now. I'll tell you that.
That is a great story.
I wish we could catch it on camera.
Ran from Spartan Village.
It was cold. It was a little cold, little chilly night. I took off.
Yeah.
That's
I'd just be screaming if I did that right now.
Man, so then you guys got a chance to go to the Outback Bowl that year against Georgia. That was that triple overtime game against Georgia. Man, talk about that game. That was a great memory, right?
That was fantastic. Like, we had a lot of fun while we was down here in Tampa. The biggest thing I remember is like going into halftime that we were like, we weren't winning. We were not winning when we got into halftime. And we was calling ourselves the Spartan Dawgs. We were Spartan Dawgs. We had the poster and all that, the motto. And I kind of spazzed out a little bit. I don't know if anybody else remember. I kind of spazzed out a little bit. I said, "Hey, if we're going to be called dogs, we got to go out there and be some MFing dogs. Come on, let's go." Coach D'Antonio was like, "Hey, chill." So I calmed down a little bit. He said, "Hey, chill out." He actually told me to sit my butt down in a different way. But and then after that, like, we just came out rolling, you know, because it was not going our way at first. We came out punching.
That's when that ball so hard on the sidelines and the kickoff. You guys were going crazy.
Ooh, yeah.
The ball so hard. You remember that?
I do.
That's
We was in there.
song.
That was like Wisconsin jump.
Everybody was bouncing.
Oh,
and Georgia, all the Georgia players looking over there like, man, them guys, there was some crazy dogs over there. We don't want to play them.
Tripping.
Yeah, they was tripping. Yeah. And y'all came out and did the thing.
We did, man. I guess that's like top 3 games I've ever played in my life. It was everybody. I feel like everybody started balling. Everything was picking up. It showed the resiliency that we had, the toughness. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a beautiful game. I remember I almost got into a fight in the field because I didn't know. I dove through the center of legs and he was trying to spike the ball, but I hit the quarterback, or Aaron Murray, I think his name. And man, them dudes was mad. And in my head, I'm like, it's a regular snap. What you talking about? But I didn't know those like unwritten rules to football.
He was juiced up on Gatorades and Skittles.
Oh man, I was up there, whole nother level.
And how about the fact that you were playing in your future home stadium as a Buccaneer? I mean, you've been there all 10 of your professional years, right? You played that game there.
Yeah, and that was when I got drafted. I was like, man, that's crazy. I had my best game in my college career there. I'm at the ball my whole career. But I think I definitely got to give thanks to the guys before me and the guys that I learned from, all of the great people that's been around me to help me continue to consistently be on the same team for the last 10 years. I definitely don't think it would have happened if I didn't learn and pick up those little traits from them guys. And I got to thank the team in general, the Glazer family, man, because just not giving up on me, because I had some questionable years, in my opinion, to my standards, and allowed me to be able to come into 10 years. Double-digit years is hard, but double-digit years on one team, that's hard too. Like, that's even harder.
Yeah, you mentioned like learning from the OGs and the vets, man. But like, what was it that they taught you that you kind of probably seen them doing, but they finally kind of put you on game and said, "Come here, young grasshopper, we gonna get you right." Like, what was it that they taught you, and that you can kind of tell these young cats coming up now on how to truly get to that next level and sustain it?
I got like three memories from 3 different OGs. The first one is from Clint McDonald, and he basically showed me how to prepare myself like for the game, like how to just like, all right, but close your eyes. And it's gonna sound, it sounded crazy to me, so hopefully it might not sound. I'm gonna just say it anyway. He said, close your eyes. Now visualize like you about to get this, what we would call a zone left, zone right, which keep it simple. You get in that zone right, you know how the block gonna come. You saw it on film. Close your eyes and see it. Shoot your hand, step, dig in. That's what you're gonna feel. When you feel it, you'll be able to make the play. Because everybody kept saying like the game's supposed to slow down. The game's supposed to slow down. And when he taught me those visualization techniques, sounded crazy, but the game slowed down, and then I was able to get out there and play. Another one was one of the OGs told me, hey, because we was losing that first, he was like, yo, I don't care what the score is. The eye in the sky don't lie. Every time that film clicks on, you sign in your resume. So what you gonna put behind your name whenever that camera's on? That's your name, not just the one on the front, not the NFL shield, but your last name on the back of there. Every play you take, every snap you take, they gonna see that. What you gonna be remembered by. And the last dude was Steve McClennan, and I think I was like, when did I meet him? Like year 8, and he showed me how to really take care. I was doing things to take care of my body, but he was showing me and telling me all the things that I need to do to make sure I stay healthy throughout the whole season without having those nicks and those bruises, those small tissue issues. So those are the 3 things that stick out even to this day.
Yeah, a lot of the thing with playing at the next level there, it's the situation that you're in, and I think like you said it right. It's tough to even get to the league, and then second play double-digit years. That's something, and kudos to you on that. Congratulations, well earned, well deserved. But talk about like you mentioned the Glazer family, and because I feel like if you're going to have success at the next level, part of that is being in the right situation and the right fit for you. So how has Tampa been a good fit for you in your career?
It was way slower than the pace I grew up in Detroit. So it was like it's a big city, but it's a small town at the same time. So it wasn't really hard to adjust, or it's not a nightlife out here for you to go crazy like some young guys would. And then you think the front office, they brought guys like I think I've played for like 4 or 5 different head coaches, defensive coordinators, and 2 different GMs. The front office was really, they used what we had and just built on it, and I was a part of it, and I think that's a little luck and a little hard work that got me to that point. But when it boils down to it, the relationships that they have with the players in the community and the relationships they have with the coaching staff, it trickles down. It's more respect. From what I hear from other guys, it's a respect thing. You get mutual respect from top to bottom.
Yeah, and so also too, when I was my first year when I was with the Jets, so we was in the hotel room, and breaking news, we got Brett Favre. It was from Favre left Green Bay to there, and I saw grown men that's played in the league like 10 years like you, like, oh man, Favre's coming. Now you're in a similar position. A couple years ago, number 12 that was in Boston came to Tampa. How was that with the players, and how was that in the locker room?
So that's COVID year, right? And we training, we training hard, doing our thing. We find out Tom coming here. I know I was me and Raheem Nunez-Roches, we call him Nacho. We training at the trench. And I look at him, he look at me and say, hey, bro, we about to win the Super Bowl. He said, we is. He said, we got to go harder. And if you ever heard Nacho talk, like, And I ain't joking. He said it loud as he could. We gotta go harder, dog. Hey, come on, we can't be the reason why we don't win this Super Bowl. And we took that. We almost said we took that stuff to heart. And we took that shit to heart, and we fucking did it. Every single rep we took in the offseason paid out. It's like when you stack something brick by brick and you see it come into fruition, it was insane because we had our ups and downs during that Super Bowl season, but really stacking and packing and doing everything you can possibly do and it pay off, bro, super blissful. So that's what I thought when he got. I instantly thought we won the Super Bowl, no doubt.
Yeah,
I still think we're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. To be real with you, I ain't gonna hold you.
Anytime you have 12, that you have a chance. But I think so when you're talking about that Super Bowl game, the mindset, the game plan going in, because I think the Bucs that year really wrote the blueprint on how to slow down Mahomes in Kansas City. So what was the thought process, defensively going in there?
We got to do what we did from the second quarter to the end of the game because they beat us for sure that year. They beat us for sure. But most of that stuff happened on, some slip ups here, mental errors here and there on those chunk plays. But we figured, don't let them cross the 50. Well, our strength and conditioning coach, AP, told us about the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl, how they didn't let nobody score, didn't let them drive the field. We wasn't trying to let them get past the 50. And I don't think they really got a chance to do that. And that was our, it's just really hard. Like, I'm sweating now and getting chills thinking about it. It's like everything we said we was going to do, we did it. Like when it came to stop the run, don't let them get no yak yards, shut down their main guys. We did every single goal that we said. We accomplished it. And it's one of the craziest feelings ever. Like, it still don't hit me all the time that we did that.
All right, no, talking about that Super Bowl run, man. Like, I want to talk about your days at Southeastern Detroit, right? You're a young pup coming up. You travel around the country. You got to be a 5-star rated recruit, which what we know now that's really kind of an indictment. It's a target. It's more difficult for a lot of those kids to actually perform in college, let alone make it to the NFL and then excel at the level in the NFL, making double-digit years with one team and actually win a Super Bowl. Now, talk about that journey from the Jungleers to the Buccaneers. How have you thought about that yet and said, like, man, look where I came from, look how I've grown, matured into the man that I am now, and being nominated for the NFL Man of the Year in this season is a huge accomplishment. Major kudos to you for that. But have you had a chance to sit down and think about and reflect on your career yet?
I don't reflect on it. I think about the upbringing from Southeastern for sure. I think about that like almost every day. Like when I brush my teeth in the mirror, I'm like, dang, bro, you are in the NFL. You literally came from nothing, like sleeping on floors and sleeping in a car. I felt like I had to work for everything I had when I was in high school. I had to sign will play for food. It was crazy. The real spill. Like the coaches have helped me out sometimes. For sure. Like they definitely helped me become the man that I am. But it was some struggles in my house. So moms and pops couldn't do it. The coaches really stepped up at times to the limitations that they had. Like because you had the clearinghouse, there's certain things I couldn't even do. So I was sleeping from couch to couch. Sometimes couldn't take a shower. Clothes didn't fit. I ain't had nothing. I was literally out. I only played football. I took all that stuff out on the people we played against. And to see myself have all the things that I have the family that I have, and be able to do the things that I can do, I feel blessed every single day.
Man,
yeah, that's a blessing.
I got chills.
I know, man.
Like people from the state of Michigan, you started out at that. I called Detroit Mumford the track school of like they need to put a story out, right? But like,
yeah,
you did go to the Southeastern, your last year. But like, tell us, I guess, the transition of why you made that jump over to play for them, and and then obviously not flashback, but this past summer. You were the guest speaker at the commencement at the graduation, which is like a huge feat for any alum that goes, to the high school, even at college, to come back and be a guest speaker. talk about that too. But the upbringing with the Detroit Muffer, because I ran track against Detroit Muffer, man. There's some dudes, that come out of there, man, and you put the football on the map, and then played that 1 year before you came to the green and white.
So I was staying with my auntie when I was going to Mumford, and I remember Coach Lynch. She was like, "Hey man," because I wasn't really trying to play no ball. I was really just trying to make it. He said, "Hey man, come on, big fella. Come on this track," and he had me test out the hurdles. I ain't never did this before, Coach. He said, "No, all right, don't do the hurdles. Just run in that line as fast as you can. Just go that way." And I had on, my shoes was fucked up. You could almost see my foot, like, you got
the Flintstones on,
man? Yeah, bro. My bottom of my foot was gone. So I said, "You sure?" I said, "All right, cool." Boom, took off, ran as fast as I could. He talked to John Hill, who was our offensive coordinator. They were shaking their head like, "Yeah, all right, we'll see you at practice tomorrow." And in my head, I'm like, bro, I might not be able to get in the house. I come to practice. I got to talk to my auntie. They ended up talking to my auntie. They said I could play because I was staying with her at the time. Kind of really was all hustle plays when I was at Mumford, just running to the ball. I had to leave my auntie house. When I had to do that, it was really up in the air, like what I was going to do in college. Or not even college, like up in the air what I was going to do for high school, because I wasn't thinking about going to college. So I had one of my friends. He lived on the east side. Stayed with that homie. Lived there. That was my address. Talked to Coach Collins, Coach English, Coach Godfrey, Coach Trav, Coach Burt, all those guys. And they kind of molded and shaped me into a real football player. They understood the issues that I had going on. And they helped me. They guided me. They didn't look down on me or anything like that. Now, I still struggled, but they kind of lessened the burden mentally and sometimes physically as well. So to be able to go and talk to the kids, man, my heart was pounding. I was so nervous talking to them because I didn't know what could I say or what should I share. Should I share all of this? Should I share like the nitty gritty to it? But the overall message that I wanted to leave the kids with, or just leave anybody that I can talk to with, is if you're younger than me, you the future. Any and every decision that you make, good, bad, or ugly, that's how you mold your future. And I'm a firm believer in the yin and yang. It's going to be good with the bad, and it's going to be bad with the good. As long as you keep driving forward, keep pushing, and keep that fire lit within inside you, you'll be able to accomplish whatever you want to do. And that's the message I gave them. It was crazy.
Yeah, I saw the picture too. It was outside too. It was hot, wasn't it?
Ooh, it was hot.
So, the question for you now is, your cousin Vern, who was I was teammates with him with the Jets, so we came in there together. Great dude, beast of a dude in the weight room and everything. He went to Ohio State, had a great career there. Why'd you choose Michigan State over Ohio State?
I didn't want to follow in his footsteps. I didn't want them to put all low, because he was a man. I ain't gonna hold you. You saw him in college. He was the man. I wasn't trying to go and be either overshadowed by him or had that pressure to be him. I wanted to be myself. To be real, I was my top three choices was Alabama, USC, and Michigan State. And it just so happened my grandma could make it to the games in Michigan State. God rest her soul. She passed away my freshman year, so I think it all panned out the right way. But I wasn't trying to follow in his foot. I wanted to create my own legacy, and I think I did. Hope I did.
You did, man.
Yeah, you still painting that legacy too, man. Talk about the NFL Man of the Year honor that each team nominates one player from their team to be the NFL Man of the Year. This year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers chose you.
Man, I really still don't have the words to sum it up, but I try not to do stuff to be like, to get the acknowledgement. I really do it all because I know what it's like for each of the different disparities that I help. I know what it's like to be in that situation. I know what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like to have a family member go through something severe with cancer. So to be recognized for it, it's an amazing feeling. I feel like it's an attachment to the man that I was brought up to be, with my character, to be able to represent the NFL Shield, to be able to represent the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and my teammates I feel like it's the best award you can get being on the 53-man roster. You know what I'm saying? If you're nominated for the Man of the Year, they think really highly of you. And I'm a goofy dude, so I'm super shocked. I'm like, dog, there's so many people on the team that do what I do and more, or give back to different levels and to acknowledge. I feel like the little things that I do, hopefully it's big for other people, but it's more that I want to do. So I wasn't ready for this award yet, but I'll take it.
That's really cool, man. I'm going to ask you a recruiting question because everybody wants to know about recruiting. That's like one of the biggest things. What is going on with the new Gholston? Like, do you have some little ones that were walking around the football building I've seen in the spring, I believe it was? And I think they're about, I don't know if they're 10 years old yet, but they were huge, man. So when are they going to be eligible to be recruited?
They already committed. They don't know. They here.
Yes.
But yeah, I have a 10, 5, and 3. So you got 3. And the 3-year-old, that's gonna be the one. I'm saying it now. He's gonna be the one. That's a physical specimen. But they committed when they was born. They didn't know that. Huh? Oh. Have you seen have you seen my baby?
Yeah, I think he had you on his shoulders walking around.
This dude is gonna be ahead of the game. His head is the same, so he can put this hat on that I got on and be straight. He walk around solid with a 6-pack, but he fat at the same time. It's crazy. And he walk with his shoulders out like a pocket pit bull. He look like. Well, I'll take it. He gonna be.
Oh boy!
But you said though they're Spartans now, right? They're already there.
Easy.
Okay. So you need to tell our boy Stray. Our boy Stray got 2. I get it, but hey, Stray got 2. Stray got 2 inner all Americans, all pro.
You know what?
I said the same. Listen, he let him choose. No, why would let him choose?
You have look when they was 10, 5, and 3 in that age. You know, they listen to everything Daddy said. When they get a little older, man, it's a little different, man. You gotta let them live.
They ain't got no hair on their chest. They ain't got no hair on their chest.
They don't even know.
Man,
they
still punk.
Yeah, they grow. They grow. Like, they don't look. I know my kids when they learned the colors, man. They knew the colors like red, purple, and go green. They didn't know anything but go green. The teachers say they keep saying go green. I'm like that's in their blood. I don't know. Sorry. So we're just hoping for it to matriculate back. But I love that answer.
Jay, you see he avoided the question, didn't he?
What question?
Like, when are you going to tell your boys? There's no other school out here.
Hey, you guys have some sons in the same age as my sons, and I want to see what you guys do when that is your turn. When it's your turn. That's what I want to see. Maybe, hey, man, I'm gonna show them this video of what you just said, Will. I'm gonna say, hey, look at what Will said about his son.
Hey,
with today's day and age and recruiting today's NIL and everything, all I gotta say is, this is Spartan people. Get the bag ready for these boys. Get the kids going.
Get it ready.
Like
it gotta be Louis.
Yeah,
right.
It gotta be Louis.
It's gonna be Louis.
Get that bag ready for these boys. That's all I gotta say. That's how we're gonna get them there. Get that bag ready.
That's it. We ain't gonna disrespect the Gholston boys and not. Hey, they gotta get that bag too. We ringing it.
Yeah.
I know their daddy got it. We know the daddy got it. They gotta get their own.
They ain't getting passed over. They gotta work for it.
That's right.
That's like Shaq
That's
said.
right.
Shaq said that.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
man, hey, man, look, we could talk, I'm sure, for hours, man. You know, we really appreciate you coming on the show, man. We got to have you back, like, often, bro, because there's more stories we got to tell.
Let me know.
You got a lot. All right, for sure. We own it.
I got some stories.
We own you. By the way, first of all, hey, before you go, man, Super Bowl ring, where's it at?
You want to see the blink?
Turn the brightness down. Turn the brightness down.
I thought the same thing. You know, it's shining. It's shot. Oh, wait, let me get this part in there. Where the camera? Hold on. Yeah, I do gotta turn the brightness down. Let's see.
Man.
Let's see if I can turn that down.
There you go.
Woo.
Wow, man.
I mean,
that's icy.
Hey, you don't even wear that thing. That's so beautiful, huh? It just sit there.
This is in the safe. I took it out the safe.
As it should.
Yes.
As it should be. Love that, man.
Man, we had, just I know we at the end of this, we're about to wrap it up, but we had another Spartan Dawg on, and Drew Stanton, who we play with, and who got called and joined the team at the end of the run, and we got John Van Dam, and so I talk about the Spartan love internally on the squad, and how you guys kind of are different generations, from a standpoint of Spartan Dawgs, but talk about that real quick before we wrap up, man.
The relationship that we got helps me know that when I'm done playing football and I can't do much, I always got a brother. Because when I talk to VD every day, he one of the coolest cats from top to bottom, bro. And then when Drew was here, he was cool. It was like I didn't know them, but they embraced me with the same love that you feel when you walk down campus, man. And to be able to see some guys, especially Drew, great career, VD, he doing this thing, coaching. I'm happy to be able to say I'm a part of that brotherhood, a part of this brotherhood, because you guys are dogs as well. So hopefully I answered that the right way. Because I don't know.
You did,
That's
man.
all I got.
You did.
You live it right.
I don't know.
Our dogs everywhere, baby. What's up?
That's right.
Let's end this off on a good, they give me flack all the time, but what was your watering hole in East Lansing? Where'd you go for, some
Here we go. Here we go.
Where was your watering hole?
Give me a little bit more specific for me.
So Jay, you love Rick's.
I was Rick's. I was the land shark. I was the shark. I was the shark was my, and then Rick turned that Rick.
There's only like 5 of them right now, bro.
I went to every single one of those, but I was more of a house party guy, man. I threw them. Either I threw it if you came to one of my parties. I can't get specific, but it was very fun.
Look, Jay, you will go to your house party right now.
Right now.
I threw a couple back in my day too. But then I started to go out to the bars. That way, cleanup, man, to clean up the next day.
I can't go into details just yet, fellas. I can't give you the go. But I used to make a drink in a Gatorade cooler, and we called it
pink.
You might have to bleep it out. It was Spartan piss because I made sure it was green.
Oh, okay.
It got you loose. It got you loose. It was the best thing. You wanted because you only wanted about 2 cups. You was using the same cup. It was no mess. And the food, you got to get to the party at 8:30 because the food is getting put up at 8:50. And then we gonna do what we gonna do. I wasn't playing that.
You were like I was from your party. You had a sophisticated party. I just had a scoundrel party.
We just had rules that we had to abide by because I was like, hey, this party ain't gonna never happen again. It's only a couple guys. Let me say this. It's probably like 15 dudes that been to my party from the team, but it was at least, and I hate to put that out there. It was a lot of girls that came to my party. It was the ratio for dude to girl. So it really wasn't that messy.
It was very high. Okay.
Very high. It was very high. Well, I hope nobody go back and watch this. Boy, they're going to be calling. I knew you was doing that when you was at school.
You keeping it very PC. This is good. See, dogs have class. Dogs have class. See that? I don't know. It's making Otis sweat a little bit right now. Jay, you going into the water.
Jay, you looking for an NIL deal post grad right now, man. Rick, sign him up. Sign him up.
I don't know what kind of deal, Jay, you looking for. All right, man. We're gonna let you go, man. We appreciate your time. We'll definitely, man. Congratulations on all your success. And look, we hope, hey, you still top of the division, right? You still top of your division.
Still got
right
a shot.
now. You got a shot, right? All you need to get in, you got 12, and you got a 10-year vet on that defensive line, making sure all them youngins get their stuff together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? That's why they play the game.
I appreciate you guys for letting me on the show.
Oh, man.
I appreciate it,
man. Always.
All right, brother.
Appreciate you,
Talk
bro.
to you later, man. Spartan Dawgs. Man, Jehuu, man, we gotta love it, man. The watering hole. That question had to come. We
You
knew
gotta
it.
know. This is the people want to know the real
They
stuff.
want to know where he parked.
They don't want that
Who
fluff.
are the people? Who are the people?
The people that are watching and commenting right now, they want to know. The people, we got some parents in here. They probably want to know where their kids are going. You know, there's some parents in here.
Or maybe where the
season,
old heads go.
Let me know. I'll take you guys. We'll do a full choo-choo experience next season.
Yeah. Can you show us where to go, choo-choo? Show us where the kids go.
We'll show
fresh out of college go, and then old heads like you guys, and then senior citizens like me.
We'll all be there. We'll be two-stepping, doing the shuffle, whatever you want.
From house parties to
doing the hustle.
Oh man!
Hey.
All I got here is like world star.
Man, dude. I mean, look. I mean, that was a lot of stuff right there, guys. I know we got to touch on a couple little recruiting things, but first, this message from our friends over at IHOP.
'Twas a wintry day, and at IHOP quite soon, hot cinnamon apples would be coaxed with a spoon on the fluffiest French toast with red currants on top. We wish you a happy holiday, only at IHOP. New Ginger Snap Apple French Toast, part of our new holiday menu. Try all 3 flavors.
And make sure you click the like button or subscribe to this show. We appreciate you guys watching us live. And here's how to do that from our social media perspective.
Click on the link in the bio anywhere: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, even TikTok. Go to that link tree and you can find us where we can get tickets in hand. I know it's hot now for the basketball season. Everybody wants to be inside and stay out of that cold weather and get in that Breslin. Follow us and we'll get those tickets to you.
Well, gentlemen, let's talk about some of that recruiting news that's going on out there in the world right now. Transfer portal news. Looks like Jeremy Bernard has entered the portal.
Man. Look, the first college football touch in the game goes for a touchdown. I honestly thought we would utilize him more than what we did. Obviously, you have a senior in Jaden Reed, but from a role player standpoint, maybe probably felt that he needed to be used more. But it's it is what it is, man. He has to go where he feels is best for his future. But like Corey said, man, this one hurts because he had all the capabilities of being one of our future outstanding wide receivers that we've had in our history. So, what's you guys' thoughts on that one, fellas?
Yeah, for me, this one's it's a head scratcher. You really got to think what is going on. Like you said, it was his first touch of his career as a touchdown. He showed some flashes, even in the return game, as well as lining up offensively. So I don't understand why he chose to transfer, because I think he's only going to become and play a bigger and bigger role as years come on, especially next year. But he chose he has to do what's best for him and his family and all that stuff. But it's a head scratcher. In today's day, is it there's two sides to every story, so to speak. Is it a free will transfer, or is there something else that's going on behind the scenes? So I think time will say, and it will take some time to play out. But I think there's a bigger reason to the transfer than just him just upping and leaving right now.
When you say bigger reason than is it a forced transfer? Is that what you're talking about?
I would say to touch on Jay's point, I think it's more of like you're trying to guess or understand the roster management. Like, we know that the way Keon Coleman played, he's going to now be the featured receiver next year. We still have we heard Trey Mosley announce he's coming back? We still have some guys that are there that maybe he's seeing something on the wall, writings on the wall, or to JU's point, it truly probably is like, hey, I want to see if I can be, the featured receiver in the next program and see what's out there. And like I said, our last episode, I just hope that he has the job before he hit the portal. Similar to how we saw some guys do their deal, and within 3 hours, I hope that he gets picked up based off of that 1 year that he put together on the gridiron for us.
Well, guys, okay. On that, I know that this is a kid that we had to work hard from. He actually signed the national letter of intent to go to the University of Washington a year ago, and they let him out of that commitment to come to Michigan State. And from what my sources tell me is that there is a deal in principle for him to, this is not a kid that's just making this haphazard decision.
Yeah.
This is not happening there. And right now, all roads point back to Washington for Jeremy Bernard.
Yeah, you got to think about it. You on the sideline that you just flipped from this, and then they beat us like they beat us.
And Michael Penix Jr. is coming back next year. That coach is creating a culture there, but still, like I said, I think it's something more to the story there. I hope it's to his own volition that he wanted to do that, but we know this college football is now a business, and
you said now it's always been.
I'm saying what's Johnny Man's what was his little trademark? There's more to the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I think we said it earlier. Every year, once you get a scholarship, it's not a 4-year deal. It's a year to year. You have to go in and re-sign that scholarship. So I don't know. I think it's a head scratcher.
That changed, right? Like, now you kind of get forced out. Like, that changed when you guys graduated. I graduated too. That the Big Ten that came out and said, once you do sign, the university has to honor that 4-year scholarship. Then you start to say, hey, you need to look for other opportunities.
Right.
You're not signing when we thought, hey, you need to just sign because this is the amount of hours you did this week.
The 20-hour rule.
Yeah. So, Jonathan Slack, another guy who just entered the portal, or not entered the portal, was decommitted. This is a guy who was committed since about September and now has decommitted from Michigan State. This one looked and feels like a mutual parting of ways. Looked like Jonathan Slack was a guy who was on the fringe anyway as a recruit from Martin Luther King High School in Detroit. Dropped about 30 pounds during the season, wasn't involved, didn't play in his state championship game. Something more going on there. Don't know exactly what it is. But to me, what this sounds like is a definite moving away from Dante Moore and that experiment, because I think this was a guy who was a teammate of Dante who we had just in case to maybe pull him in, and now this is one of those tells that the Dante Moore saga, I think, has the page has been turned.
The page is turned. The turning of the page. Yeah, I think right now it's a crapshoot. That's why I always say when people get excited when 3-star, 4-star, 5-star kid commits. At the end of these are kids. They're gonna go to different places. They're gonna get wined and dined by these schools, these girls, these official visits, and everything like that until they sign the name on the dotted line.
Why you say it like that, though? So suddenly.
Otis is gonna pass out over you.
These girls.
These girls, until they sign on the dotted line, until they show up for the first day of camp. I don't put any stock in it, because nowadays anything can happen. This is a total different It's the wild, wild west out here in college football right now.
I mean, what does it say about like developing players, right? Like we obviously, yes, every program that's been successful is successful right now has 5-star, 4-star guys. But you still have to develop these guys when they get onto campus, and you have to fit them into the culture. You have to train them up, and only a far few between guys go make that step, and they just ball out like crazy. Like you got to kind of think about like, okay, our development as a staff and development of our players is that who do we have right now as our group, our class is getting smaller and smaller, and now we got to figure out how we tap into this transfer portal where you saw one of the tight ends from Norfolk State committing to us to come to Michigan State to add to our power position in tight end.
I know that guy, that tight end's from Massachusetts there, but he looks like he has some African roots there. Like he's
yes, he does. Nigeria. You said wait. You said, what did you say again? You said he looks like, or like you don't see the whole thing on there?
No, I didn't. I'm trying to find out where he's from in
Nigeria.
Okay. I won't hold it against him. He's from Nigeria. I won't hold it against him.
That's at 3:03 p.m.
Filet. Adamola Filet. And now tight end, 6'7", 240-pound guy out of Norfolk State, and is a great blocker. Can stretch the field, obviously very athletic. Happens to be cousins with one Samson Okalula, the pancake honcho, the 5-star pancake honcho that everybody wants, has been on Michigan State's radar for a long time.
That's the picture of him pouring syrup on the pancakes, right?
That's right.
Hey, Kyle, where you at, Kyle? Where you at, Kyle?
Hey, Kyle's been on it. I'll talk to him.
Hey,
our house ready to do a deal with the pancake honcho. I think national for him to come to Michigan State. But he was at Florida this weekend. And so we don't know. He's supposed to be making a decision on December 15th.
Pancake
honcho. Hopefully Cuz can put in a word.
At the family reunion.
Come
on, East Lansing, baby.
That's my cousin. He's always a man. All he likes to do is run down and pancake demand. Family reunion.
Wait, so just straight, you said this could be the long game of, hey, we're bringing the family together, and it's going to be a family affair. And it's only right that he just says, hey, I'm going to go join Cuzzo, which would be great.
That'd be awesome, man. And you had other Cuzzo. I don't know if he's Cuzzo, but, Tumis Adelaide from Texas A&M. Now, he's another Nigerian. So they got to be – that's another one, man. We going with all –
the West Africa. The West
African team.
We're good athletes. We got that body.
Hold on. Hey, we West African too. Don't be trying to take you taking all the credit. You see that? You're taking all the credit. We just don't know. We just don't know like y'all know. We don't know. We got to do 23.
I ain't gonna lie. We talked about this. I would love to know. I would love to know where I'm from. Where my bloodline's from.
Right. You go over to Liberia and Nigeria. I see people look just like boys over from Chicago or Detroit. They look just. I said, y'all look like them boys down there in Tuscaloosa. But hey, look, you gotta go where the athletes are, and they're at least coming. They're taking visits at Michigan State. We're looking for them to, sign on that dotted line come December 21st. This is when the signing day's coming, and it's rapidly approaching. Right now, Coach Tucker. On the road, man.
He's on the road. He's going to be traveling a lot this week. But
we saw that schedule. That schedule is like, Hey man, no sleep till Brooklyn. It's
like in all seriousness, I will have to say there's a bit of a pause and a bit of concern on my end for what we're doing. The recruiting class is starting to dwindle away. People are starting to lose commitments. We're starting to lose key people in the transfer portal. I don't know. I'm hoping there's a behind the scenes play that's being come into play, and that's the reason why all these things are happening. And the wheels are set in motion. But as a former player, you got to sit back and you look at your program and say, what's going on here? Are we trying? What are we trying to do? Is this going to be a rebuild year again, or are we making a big splash? Is there some trick up the sleeve that we're going to, plan to do and make a big splash? And, we're going to find a lot of that stuff up in, on the 21st in a few days here. So it's going to be interesting.
Is Pancake Honcho an immediate day one starter?
Yes. There's very few freshmen offensive linemen.
Impact player. That's a key that we need a solid win for him to make the decision.
I mean, this is a guy that's a day one pick in the NFL as long as he stays healthy and just progresses in a normal way. All right, so 5-star projections back in William Gholston's era were less likely to pan out than 5 stars that they are projecting today. They have gotten better with it. They're not perfect, obviously. I mean, NFL's not perfect. But this is a guy, I mean, I've seen him myself. I've seen him up close a couple times, spent some time with him. Yeah, he's got the goods. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going against the best talent right now, so there's going to be some adjustment for that. But his physical specifications, big hands, big rear end, very lean. The guy's going to be able to come off the ball, intelligent, ask the right questions, ask a lot of questions. This is a kid that I would be shocked if he's a kid that isn't playing within the first half of his freshman year, wherever he goes, outside of maybe Alabama, which I don't think has a real shot at him.
Do we have a real shot at him?
We have for a long time, but it's been known that he's a kid looking for a bag. He really is. He's looking for the best overall deal. He's got 2 agents. Okay, he's coming at it from a very business-like perspective. There's other players who aren't that way. They want to just come for the development. But I'm telling you guys, it's very rare when you're talking about the higher level talented guys. They're not thinking that way. And why should they if it's being offered? Honestly, I mean, you guys sent me the list, and let's put that up. I know Pete's going to put this graphic up with the top NIL performers of this season. You got Bryce Young, $3.4 million this past season. You got C.J. Stroud, $2.5 million. I mean, the lowest guy on this list is 1.2.
The thing about that list is these guys that are making them are already been here.
They
already proved it. They're not just some kid that's coming from high school. Look at the guy that came to Ohio State. He got all that money and then he transferred out.
He made 1.5 this year. Quinn Ewers. Yeah, he got the money from Ohio State, transferred out to Texas, and he started there in Texas. It was his first year. Bryce Young, before he proved the thing, was making near $1 million. And then he goes on to win the Heisman, no guy. So you have to look at it from both angles. I understand our traditional way. There's not many freshmen that could come in our opinion, the way we look at football as players. And is he any good? Well, I don't care until he gets on campus and I see him in camp. Did he pass a running test? Can he make it through 2-a-days? Is he going to bang with they don't even do the running test anymore. Okay, it's not even about. It's all projection based now. Everything is more scientific than it was when we played the game. And if a kid has that upside potential to be you have to bet on them, or somebody else is betting on them. That's the problem we have with today's recruiting. I spoke to 2 Power 5 coaches this past weekend, not at Michigan State, but one defensive coach, one offensive coach, and both. Total different conferences, everything. Said NIL has completely ruined or it changed high school recruiting. 100%. They don't even look at it the same. And the word around town is that Michigan State is trying to build through the portal. And to your point, JU, you always ask that question, what's the best way to do it? Time is going to be able to tell. But the kid that develops, the walk-on, the Jack Conklin, maybe even a kid like the quarterback that played in the Rose Bowl, didn't really start until his fourth year, Connor Cook. I don't think he gets a shot in today's game. Those two players like that, Jack Conklin was a walk-on, if you remember, that then ended up becoming a top 10 NFL draft pick. I don't think he gets a shot at the Power 5 right now. They don't give players like that time. There's going to be a transfer that comes in over him, and he's going to be washed out. You're relegated to the FCS. It's a different world we live in, and there are definitely casualties. Players that could turn into very good pros and Hall of Famers will not be as it was in the past.
That no longer no average Joes to the superhero stories, you know. So like the Darqueze Denards of the world, the Trey Waynes. You say like now?
I think those guys probably get picked up though. I think that the recruiting is better than it was, and I think D'Antonio really, you know.
It's all about the personality of that coach though, right? Like, but Jay, you guys said it best that there's no father time on your side anymore in this industry now, man. It's right. Yes, you got a permanent contract and guaranteed. There's still some clauses possibly in there probably, but to your point, like they want the win now. And it's just the day and age we're in, man. But, I do hope people are, making that ultimate decision that's best for their future, which sounds like these kids are, man, when it comes to bettering your family and improving your skill set on the field. Our NIL back in the day was our scholarship. It was like, thank you, Jesus. Move on up.
Some of these kids are being asked to leave that are scholarship players that aren't performing. Maybe they're project kids that are going to take some time to develop, as JU keeps talking about. Develop the kid. I mean, there's nothing like I had to develop. A lot of people had to develop over time. As an interior offensive lineman, you don't come right in and start day one unless Jack Allen was starting and his brother Brian was able to because they had injuries. And there was a brother situation there, and then now Brian went the Super Bowl with the LA Rams, right? But most interior players take some time, and I'm looking at the way Michigan State, how we're doing things right now. Who are we allowing to develop on that offensive line?
We're not nobody.
I mean, you give them 2 years. You got to get it. You got to hit the ground running. 2 years. And you got to be producing.
The one thing
I don't see a guy sitting for 3.
You also they have opportunity if they're redshirted, they're going against the top defensive linemen on the opposite side. So they have the opportunity to show their selves approved to get to that depth chart, right, of playing. To your point, but one season when you're redshirted, that's your chance to, all right, progress, and then that next year, which is coming up, this is your time. This is your time to fully get into it. And if, to your point, Stray, if you don't get into it, boom. So,
what makes the game slow down? What was it that had the game ultimately slow down for you guys? You answer that question. What did it take?
It took a coach coming in like Coach D, sitting you down and to the point I have the talent, but it wasn't the mental aspect of the game, right? So I think that's when, to your point, it took time to fully understand how to read your offense. Sets.
What are you doing during that time?
You said, what am I doing during that time?
You're working out.
Yeah,
you're working out. But but you're looking at past film, right? Past film. You said just working out? Yeah, you're looking at.
You're watching film. You're trying to get better. Yeah.
Film. Reps, right? Mental reps, physical reps. is what it usually takes for kids. You heard Will talk about it today. He said, you got to visualize, close your eyes, and feel. Like, he didn't learn that until what year in the pros? I mean, it takes some time for guys to develop, like you're saying. I agree with you, Jehuu. I do. It's a tall task to ask for kids to just the light bulb to come on in 2 years or you're out. It's tough.
Yeah. Before we wrap up here, I got it. Like, there's an absolute travesty. This is absolute total BS that went down, and I think it would be remiss if we did not speak on it. So, if you're a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and I told you I'm going to give you a guy that he's going to lead the nation in every statistical category at his position, and he's going to lead the conference in it. He's going to be an All-American. He's going to be the player of the year in your conference at that position. Would you say, yeah, I'll take this guy?
1,000%.
Okay, so tell me why the hell Bryce Behringer did not win the Ray Guy Award. Leads the nation in punting, averaging 49 yards a punt. Ranks first in Michigan State football in net punting, 45.5 yards. Ray Guy Award finalist, Big Ten punter of the year, first team All-American, first team Big Ten All-American, 5 appearances on the Ray Guys 8 weekly honor roll, mid-season All-American, 24 punts of 50 yards plus, 48%. 22 punts placed inside the 20-yard line.
Like, one more. Give me one more. Give me one more.
49 yards average punt. Second best in single season history for the Big Ten. Second of all time the Big Ten's been around. Second best of all time in that. 46 yards career average. It's number 1 in Big Ten history. And this guy
lost to a guy from Rutgers.
To a guy that was not. He was not. The guy from Rutgers was not first team Big Ten. He was not second team Big Ten. He was not third team Big Ten. So how the hell does that guy win the Ray Guy Award?
It doesn't make any sense.
Was that Choo Choo's rant of the week?
That was it.
Man,
Guys,
look, that is highway robbery. It's highway
it
robbery.
is absolute highway robbery.
I think we don't do enough to promote our guys. I think there has to be something that we don't market them enough to do something. You have to do that. Like last year, the first time when I saw K9 on the billboard
Did we get blacklisted
in Times Square, that was cool. But we're not doing stuff like that for our guys. That's how you're going to attract the top talent to your school, is when you have these types of things. And we don't do that for our players. We don't. We need to start doing that for our players. There's no reason that this guy should not have won the Ray Guy Award. He's the best damn punter in the country. Everyone knows it. And then he gets hosed like that.
Otis, and knowing that this guy actually does kick a ball, and Jehuu went on a rant like that about it, tells you
earn Jehu's respect. Yes.
Yeah, right.
This punter, this kicker is a person.
He's damn right. Yeah. He's a Spartan dog forever.
Yes, he is. All-American. Bryce Behringer. All-American. First team All-American. Number 99 on the field. Number 1 in your heart.
Absolutely. Respect Nation, baby. Reminds me of high school. I had to wear those Horace Grant boys.
Hey, guys. Let's put a wrap on this one. We got more to talk about. I know. Guys, we could be here for another 3 hours. The three of us. We already know it. All right, guys. So until next time, we'll be back on Thursday for another show. We're going to be live from the Graduate on the rooftop, the Rock Bar. Until then, have a good night. God bless and go Green.
All right.
All right.